Hi everyone, welcome back to Sacred Season Healing. I'm so grateful you're here with me again today. If this reading finds you, trust that there may be a message here that your spirit needs to hear today. As always, remember these are collective readings, so take what resonates with your heart and simply leave the rest behind. Today's reading is going to be focused on love and relationships, so whether you're single, healing from the past, currently in a relationship, or calling in new love, there might be a message here for you today. Okay, so let's start and let's ask Spirit to show us what energy is surrounding the collective and love at this time, and what may be blocking deeper connections in our lives, and also what guidance will help us move toward healthier, more fulfilling relationships moving forward. Okay, let's take a slow, deep breath, set your intentions, and let's see what Spirit wants us to know. The first question I'll ask Spirit is, what is the current energy surrounding the collective in love and relationships, Spirit? What is the current energy surrounding the collective in love and relationships? Please show us clearly. Thank you. Okay, the Ten of Swords. Anything else, Spirit? Current energy surrounding the collective in love and relationships. Okay, we have the Four of Swords, Ten of Swords, Four of Swords, Nine of Wands, the Ten of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. Okay, let's just go through the rest of the deck, see if there's anything else that wants to come out. No. Okay, so the next question I'd like to ask Spirit is, what is the biggest challenge or blockage affecting love at this time? What is the biggest challenge or blockage affecting love at this time, Spirit? Please show us clearly. Thank you. The Five of Cups, okay, and the Three of Wands. See if there's anything else. The biggest challenge or blockage affecting love at this time, Spirit. Thank you. Okay, the Magician and the Seven of Swords. Is there anything else? Affecting love at this time, Spirit. Okay, I'm just going to move these down a little bit. Okay, see if you can see that better. Okay, and the last question I'd like to ask for this first part of the reading is, what healing energy or lesson is Spirit asking the collective to embrace right now? Spirit, please show us clearly what healing energy or lesson you're asking the collective to embrace right now. The Queen of Pentacles. Okay, that was a lot of chunk came out there. The Fool card and the Strength card. Anything else, Spirit? Lesson. What lesson or energy are you asking the collective to embrace right now? Okay, all right, let's take a look at these. Okay, so as we look at these first three questions together, one message is pretty clear here to me. Spirit is showing me that many of you are moving through the closing of a very painful chapter with this Ten of Swords, okay, in your love life, okay? And for some, this may be, it could be a recent breakup or a separation. And then for others, it may simply be the emotional ending of a chapter that you've been carrying for much longer than you wanted to, okay? So whatever that looks like for you, the Ten of Swords reminds us that this ending was not meant to define your future. It was meant to make space for a new beginning. With the Four of Swords here, this tells me that your heart has been in a season of healing, okay? You can see the man just relaxed. And you've just been resting, reflecting, processing, or even, just slowly putting yourself back together again. And with the Nine of Wands, this confirms that although you've been through a great deal, you haven't given up. Yes, you're tired, okay? You've been through a lot. You may even be more cautious now, and your boundaries may be stronger, and your heart may be a little more guarded, but you've also become wiser because of everything that you've experienced, okay? So, what I love, though, is where this energy begins to shift, and that's with the Ten of Cups and the Eight of Wands. Okay, so the Ten of Cups tells me that deep down, you still believe in genuine, lasting love. Okay, you haven't lost hope. And the Eight of Wands suggests that once your healing reaches the point where you're no longer anchored to that past, the things can begin moving much more quickly then. Probably than they've been moving, right? So things like new conversations, unexpected opportunities, and positive changes may begin unfolding in your life because your energy is finally opening to receive them, okay? So when we look at what's been blocking love, we see the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups, you can see on her face, it shows grief and disappointment over what didn't work, okay? The Three of Wands tells me many of you had envisioned a future that never came to be, and that can be incredibly difficult to let go of. I have just recently experienced this myself. I'm still not completely healed yet. So I can totally resonate with this message today. But I think Spirit wants you to see something important, okay? Because the Magician here, the Magician reminds you that you already have everything you need to create the next chapter of your life, all right? The real challenge is the Seven of Swords, okay? This is your challenge. After experiencing the hurt and disappointment, it's easy to question your own judgment. That's what the Seven of Swords is doing. It's your doubt. You're doubting your intuition, or you're expecting the past to repeat itself. So Spirit is encouraging you not to let that fear or self-protection become self-sabotage, okay? The past can teach you valuable lessons without determining your future. And then finally, the healing lesson is beautiful. The Queen of Pentacles, it encourages you to continue creating a life that feels peaceful and stable and fulfilling on your own. And then the Fool, it reminds you that every new beginning requires faith. And the Strength card here, okay, it assures you that you already possess the courage, the resilience, the inner wisdom, all of that's needed to move forward, okay? So Spirit isn't asking you to become someone different before love arrives. Spirit is asking you to trust the person you've become through everything you've already overcome, okay? So let's take a moment to reflect on what came through in this first part of the reading before we jump to the next. If any of these messages are resonating with you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below, okay? But I want to also give you some questions that you can maybe reflect on and, maybe even journal about, okay? So you can tap into your intuition and your inner guidance and possibly answer some questions that you're wondering about, okay? So they are, what relationship or chapter am I still healing from? In what ways have my past experiences made me stronger rather than weaker? Where might I be allowing fear or self-protection to keep me from future happiness? What qualities am I intentionally creating within myself before inviting love into my life? And what would it feel like to truly trust that the right relationship will come at the right time? Okay? So if this reading is resonating with you so far, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share it with someone who may need this message today. Your support helps this community continue to grow, and I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Okay? So now that we've explored the current energy surrounding love and the healing that's taking place, let's go a little deeper. Let's see what truth Spirit wants the collective to recognize, what message we're being asked to remember as we move forward, and what blessing may be unfolding in the area of love. Okay? So I'd like to ask Spirit next to please show us, Spirit, what truth, perspective, or realization is Spirit helping the collective recognize about love at this time? Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords that just came out. Okay, we'll go ahead and go through the deck and see if Spirit would like to add anything else. What truth, perspective, or realization, Spirit, are you helping the collective recognize about love at this time? Is there anything else? What truth, perspective, or realization? Okay, we have the Knight of Cups. All right. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. What is the most important message Spirit wants the collective to remember as they continue their journey in love and relationships? So I'll put that in first person now. So Spirit, what's the most important message you want the collective to remember as we continue our journey in love and relationships? Most important message, Spirit, you want us to remember. Spirit, what is the most important message you want us to remember as we continue our journey in love and relationships? It's starting to drizzle out here. The cards are getting wet. They're not wanting to shuffle. I might have to pause the video and put the umbrella up. Okay. We have the Moon and the Queen of Cups. Okay. And lastly, I'd like to ask Spirit, what blessing, opportunity, or positive shift is likely to unfold as the collective continues healing and following Spirit's guidance? Okay? So Spirit, what blessing, opportunity, or positive shift is likely to unfold for the collective as they continue their healing and following your guidance? The Knight of Pentacles. Anything else? Opportunity, blessing, or positive shifts as collective continues healing and following your guidance. Oh, these cards. Okay, Two of Wands. Okay, so Knight of Pentacles and Two of Wands. And I'm going to go ahead and put that umbrella up. Okay. Okay, I put the umbrella up, so hopefully that helps keep the cards a little drier. It's not really raining, it's just sprinkling, but yeah, it was making the cards really stick together. But now let's look at this. And so moving into the second part of the reading, I think Spirit is shifting our focus away from the past, and it's shifting us or showing us how to move forward differently. Okay, So the first message comes through the Queen of Swords, okay, and the Knight of Cups. Okay, so I think here Spirit's encouraging us to keep our heart open to love, okay, with the Knight of Cups here, but not at the expense of your peace, okay? So the Queen of Swords, she represents wisdom, discernment, and clarity, okay? So she has learned from her experiences, and she no longer ignores red flags or talks herself out of what her intuition is showing her, right? So it's kind of like head over heart. And the Knight of Cups just reminds us that love is still meant to be experienced with an open heart and kindness and emotional vulnerability. It's just that you need to take it slow and let somebody show you who they truly are over time. You know, consistency over time. And then you can, you know, move from this to this, you know, kind of thing. I know this was a lesson I had to learn just recently. I always led here. I led with my heart, and I jumped in probably way too fast in all my past relationships, and now I'm to the point where I learned a very hard lesson for doing that and trusting too quickly. And I'm not saying I'm never going to trust anybody again or give love a chance again. I'm just saying this is exactly what Spirit is showing is what I'm now trying to implement in my life moving forward. You know, just not ignoring red flags, not giving, you know, more chances than the person deserves, things like that. Not giving my heart fully if I'm seeing things that, they're not really good, right? And then if you do that, it makes it a lot easier, I think, at least for me. I think it's going to make it a lot easier for me to be able to walk away instead of staying longer than I should, or giving more chances than I should, or accepting less than what I deserve, you know, settling, that kind of thing. If I hold off on giving my heart fully to someone before they show me who they truly are, and I first just, you know, all the things we already talked about with the Queen of Swords, right? Just using my discernment, my wisdom, looking for clarity, letting someone show themselves over time, then I think if red flags do start popping up and I'm getting that feeling and I'm listening to my intuition and going, nah, I don't think so. I don't think this is for me. It's going to be a lot easier for me and healthier, you know, because I'll be able to detach from that person or whatever, that relationship, much quicker, and it won't lead in this painful ending and heartbreak, okay? Because I did not give my heart fully before I knew who the person was. So I'm sharing a lot of stuff about myself in this reading. I'm just, you know, wanting you to know that you're not alone if you're experiencing this and this is resonating with you. I actually have just recently experienced this, so just wanted to put that out there. Still lead with an open heart and kindness, and you're still going to be emotionally available, and you can still be emotionally vulnerable with somebody, but let them prove themselves first, okay? Okay. They can exist together. Both things can happen at the same time. You can be both at the same time. You don't have to choose between protecting yourself and loving someone, right? You can remain open-hearted, but you're also honoring your boundaries and trusting the wisdom that you've gained and listening to your intuition. You're not ignoring those red flags anymore. Okay, so now the next message comes through the Moon and the Queen of Cups. Okay. Now, with this, I think Spirit's reminding us that not everything is immediately clear in relationships, and that's okay. The Moon encourages us to be patient when things feel uncertain, and the Queen of Cups reminds us to trust our intuition and our emotional awareness. You know, how is this person making me feel? Are they making me feel anxious and confused and like I have to try harder to get love from them or reciprocation from them? You know, do I feel like I'm over giving, or do they make me feel emotionally safe? You know, so you got to pay attention to all of those things, I think, is what Spirit's saying. So if something feels aligned, pay attention to that. If something feels off, honor those feelings too, instead of talking yourself out of them, you know. Just remember, your intuition has become one of your greatest strengths through your healing journey here. Okay, so I think Spirit is asking you to trust yourself more than you trust fear or confusion or any outside opinions from anyone else. Okay, so just continue showing compassion to yourself, but also to others, right? But don't ignore what your inner wisdom's trying to tell you. Okay, now, finally, we get the Knight of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. And here I think Spirit isn't showing a need to rush ahead, right? Instead, the blessing unfolds through steady, intentional progress. And that's what the Knight of Pentacles is, right? The Knight of Pentacles reminds us that the strongest foundations are built one step at a time. So as you continue healing and making choices that align with your values, you'll naturally begin creating a different future for yourself. Okay, things are just going to start falling in place for you. And the Two of Wands, it shows you looking ahead with confidence, making plans, expanding your vision, and then just choosing relationships that truly support the life you're building, rather than repeating old cycles. You know, you are preparing for a future that's rooted in wisdom and stability and intention. And that's beautiful. Okay, so I think the overall message from this section of the reading, it isn't that Spirit is asking you to stop believing in love. It's more Spirit's asking you to believe in yourself. So as you continue trusting your intuition and honoring your boundaries, and moving forward one intentional step at a time, you're going to naturally align with relationships that reflect the growth you've worked so hard to achieve. Okay, they will come. Believe that they will come. Sometimes we get a little discouraged and we think we're never going to meet anyone again. You know, why isn't it happening? And we get impatient, but it will come. I would say just try to stay focused on yourself and your daily routines and what brings you joy. You know, meet up with friends, go to lunch, go to the gym, work out, do some of these meditation practices, journal, listen to inspiring people, you know, that really teach you something. Whatever works for you, you know yourself best. Just focus on that every time your mind wants to take you into doubt, right? Into this. Just refocus and try to remember, I have all the tools I need to create the life and relationships that I truly desire. Okay, use those affirmations. I'm going to give you some more for today's reading. In fact, let's go ahead and move into that now. Okay, so you may want to use some of these during your healing practice. Okay, so let's start with, I trust myself to recognize healthy, loving relationships. My past has given me wisdom, not limitations. I honor my intuition and trust the guidance it provides. I am worthy of a relationship built on honesty, respect, and mutual love. I welcome love into my life while honoring my boundaries. I move toward my future with confidence, hope, and an open heart. Okay? Might want to repeat some of those, you know, when that Seven of Swords energy starts creeping up in your mind, those doubts. Okay? Okay, so body movement. The heart often stores emotional energy, so gentle movement can help release what you're still carrying. Okay, so go for a peaceful walk in nature, or practice some heart-opening yoga poses such as cobra, camel, bridge, or supported fish pose. You can stretch your shoulders and chest while taking slow, intentional breaths. You could dance to music that lifts your spirits, you know, makes you feel good. It reminds you of your joy. Put on an old song from when you were a good time, a good memory from way back when, maybe when you were a teenager or something, or, you know, whatever it may be, and it'll take you back to that, and just make you feel good. Some essential oils that you might want to use. Rose encourages love, compassion, and emotional healing. Geranium, it restores emotional balance and nurtures the heart. Bergamot, it helps release sadness and welcomes optimism. Or lavender, it promotes peace, relaxation, and emotional restoration. So again, you can put these in an oil diffuser. You could just carry they sell little bottles of it. You could just carry one around in your purse or in your pocket or in your car or whatever, and just, when you're kind of starting to have those feelings or doubts arise in you, you can take a little sniff, do some breathing exercises, some stretching, even if you're in your vehicle, right, or at work, and it might help you, calm the nervous system and get your mindset back on the right track, okay? Crystals you might want to work with. Rose quartz, it's for unconditional love and self-love. Green aventurine, Aventurine. This is for healing the heart and opening to new opportunities. Rhodonite, it's for forgiveness, emotional healing, and compassion. And then moonstone, it's for intuition, emotional balance, and trusting divine timing. Okay, also some sound healing for this week's meditation or quiet reflection. You may wish to listen to 639 hertz. That's for heart chakra healing, love, forgiveness, and healthy relationships. Or you could try 528 hertz. This is for transformation, healing, and positive change. Okay. So even just spending 10 to 15 minutes of quiet time with these frequencies while breathing deeply can help you reconnect with your heart and inner peace. Another thing you might want to consider is at bedtime, if you've got your minds racing, because oftentimes, I don't know about you, but for me, nighttime's probably the hardest for me. That's when my mind starts wanting to think about everything, and I have a hard time falling asleep. So I have found personally, if I look up one of these sound healing, music or whatever you want to call it, frequencies, it really does help relax my mind so that I can go to sleep. And I use that with breathing, imagining myself breathing in like confidence or whatever it is I'm struggling with, breathing that in, and then when I exhale, exhaling all the junk that is swirling around in my mind that I don't want to think about. And it really does help relax your body and your nervous system and your mind. So you might want to try that. But anyway, as we close today's reading, just please remember this, that healing doesn't close your heart, okay? It teaches your heart how to love more wisely. And every experience you've lived through has strengthened your intuition, it's deepened your compassion, and it's shown you more clearly what you truly deserve. Just trust that the lessons you've learned are guiding you towards a better future, and trust that the wisdom you've gained is going to help you make better decisions going forward. And most importantly, just trust yourself, your inner guidance. It always has the answers. Okay? So thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this reading resonated with you, please remember to like this video, subscribe to Sacred Season Healing, and share it with someone who may need this message. I truly hope that you have a beautiful and peaceful week ahead. And until next time, take gentle care of yourself, keep trusting your intuition, and remember that every season of healing is leading you closer to the love, peace, and life that you are truly meant to have. Okay? And I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Take care.